All right, guys. Good morning. Today is July 12th, 2026. I'm going to do a quick update regarding my philodendron collection. And I was watching like Sydney Plant Guy and a lot of other YouTubers grow their plants, their philodendrons, their aroids on moss poles, and got me really intrigued. I like to see them grow, and as I've seen those videos, as you grow them and as they climb up, they get bigger. The leaves get bigger. They even change shape for some of them. And as you can see, that's my pothos. They're doing great. Disclaimer, the plants that I purchased are the easy to grow plants. I didn't, if I saw a video or read about a plant, and one of the main things about the plant is it's easy to grow and doesn't really need any specific conditions, or you don't need to baby it. That's usually what I purchase. But before we go through that, I'll show you the type of moss pole that I use. All right, so to start, this is my philodendron melanochrysum. I just figured out how to grow it properly. I have several in my grow tent. This is the first one that I'm growing here in the indoor conditions. So far it's doing well, not really perfect, but before we talk about this plant, I promised about the moss pole. So this moss pole is, they call it the D-shaped moss pole, because I guess because of the openings like D-shaped. And the brand is, and I am not a sponsor, they don't know me, but I'm gonna tell you guys because it's cost efficient and works really well. It's, the brand is EOX, EOX. It's each segment is like 24 inches and only $26 for 8 pieces. And I say only because there's some brand name moss poles similar or some kind of design, and they say they're the first ones, but they're expensive, like $40-50. And I bought those before not knowing there are other alternatives. But yeah, this one only $26 for 8 pieces, and then I wait for like a Black Friday to purchase this moss poles, and you know they go on sale. So they're I moved the light because there's a glare and I want you guys to see this. I'm not sure if it's really clear, but yeah, you can see the roots. I'm not sure if you can really see the roots, but there's so much clear. But the roots are really growing in through the substrate. So how I designed this is basically to keep this in place, it doesn't fall down. There's some heavy dense rocks here, and then the segment that is within the pot, and this area here, I'm not sure if you guys can see, is lava rock. There's some space there, and you can see the roots going down to the soil. Yeah, lava rock, because it's porous, it allows good drainage. And the reason I don't want to put moss in there is because this area always is moist when you water it, and it might cause root rot. So far it's worked really well for me. And how I keep this moist without overwatering the plant and wasting so much resources, because I use RO water, so I don't want to just flush it. And the problem with sphagnum moss or any very dry substrate, they become hydrophobic before they actually, you know, get moist. So before we talk about the actual substrate, so starting from this segment, as I added the second segment, I have this wicking rope from Amazon, and I find this is the best method that works for me. I've seen several methods of how to get a really moist, consistently moist moss pole, and some people just water them. Others have the wicking rope from below. They fill up a reservoir, and then the water goes up. I don't find that work before, but if it's from above, gravity excuse me, does all the work. And so as I add the moss pole segments, as those ones are taller, I just extend this, and then I have this piece of actually this is for filtration, aquarium filtration, but it's heavy, so it keeps it in place. And I just fill this with water, and then it slowly wicks down into the substrate, gets it moist. Now this will take about half a day, and then but it won't get everything moist. I will just add up. So depending on how tall the moss pole is, I'll keep adding water. But I'll do that like twice a week until everything is moist. And yeah, it works, because as you can see on those two plants, my reverted philodendron pink princess and pothos. But yeah, now we'll talk about the substrate. If any of you guys follow my channel, or at least watch one of my videos, I have a lot of Nepenthes. Nepenthes or carnivorous plants. Their main substrate is long fiber sphagnum moss and perlite. Long fiber sphagnum moss, even the especially the good quality ones are very expensive. And so what I did is I reused them. So whenever I repotted my Nepenthes, and as they get bigger and I need to repot them, I have a lot of these used long fiber sphagnum moss. As you can see here, there's even some cocoa trunks, because I sometimes also use substrate that I use for my orchids. And I also have cocoa trunks from Amazon, so I'll add some of it. It retains moisture, as you can see here, and it's also a good filler, and they work. So in all of these moss poles that you can see, I don't have like a specific mix. It's what I have at that time. And what I can say, in my conditions, they work really well. So I can't speak for other growers, but it depends on your condition. I'm based in Texas, so humidity is pretty low inside our homes, because we have AC. Especially during summer, it's on. The thermostat is on most of the time because of how hot it is. But so far, used long fiber sphagnum moss and everything in between, from cocoa trunks to some lava rock to some, of course, perlite was mixed in with the long fiber sphagnum moss. I have some orchid bark also in here. They do work really, really well, as you can see. Now we'll go through each one of these philodendrons. All right, so we'll start with my philodendron silver sword. I purchased this from HEB. Let me see the dates. Oh, I don't have a date. Okay, but it is like $6 at the time. And the leaves look initially like this, and now the mature leaves are like lance shaped. Very easy to grow, no issues at all. Loves the moss pole. There's a root system there, more roots, and as you can see, different substrates in there. Some are long fiber sphagnum moss, a mix of chunks, cocoa chunks, but yeah, that's the freshest root there. So nothing special. Kind of burned out leaves here. I vacuumed this, so not perfect in terms of aesthetics, but one of the easiest plants I have. No issues at all, and I recommend this. And if you just want a plant that looks nice and the leaves are like silvery, hence the name silver sword. But what's really cool is from like a rounder shaped leaf to this, and it's not even under direct light, but it's growing really well. So I love this plant, easy to grow. Philodendron melanochrysum, I had the mother plant 2022, didn't do well. There was a time I grew them in the normal indoor conditions. I thought that when you say a plant is low light, then you don't need artificial light or beside a window, and they didn't do really well until I placed them in my grow tent. So I have several in there growing right now. I think two, not several, two as insurance just in case this mess up. But it didn't. It's growing really well. I actually started this from a mature plant already, a bit tall, so I started with the bigger leaves as I learned from Sydney plant guy, and it's doing really well. I had issues with some mealy bugs or scale, and so I sprayed all of this with neem oil, damaged one of the leaves, and I think damaged this, and it's small, so I don't know what happened, but I think this one's gonna be a bit bigger. Same thing, really nice root structure. Unfortunately the glare is really bad, but you can really, these are mostly roots here, which is cool. They love this kind of moss pole. It doesn't dry as fast as say pure long fiber sphagnum moss. My issue with pure long fiber sphagnum moss before, not only is it expensive, is when they dry out, they are hydrophobic, so you really need to keep watering them until they absorb the water. But with this method, it's working really well. So yeah, philodendron, melanochrysum. I think I'm getting there. I'm getting bigger leaves. It's not the perfect leaves as I see in the Sydney Plant Guys channel, but I think I figured it out. And yeah, next one. All right, next is the Epipremnum pinnatum albo. Not sure if I pronounce it correctly, but this is quite a surprise for me because a friend gave this to me, and the leaf, it's not fenestrated at all. It's like a it's a longer leaf, no fenestration, really nice variegation when he gave that to me. And then I kind of neglected it, but decided to give it proper care. Grew really tall, and the mature leaves started to have these fenestrations and really nice variegation, as you can see. And so I cut it off, the mature leaf, and started it again. Again, as I learned from a Sydney plant guy, and now it's growing really well. No issues with it at all. No issues with pests. No issues with watering. One of the easiest plants that I had, and I tried to sell some mature plants online in Facebook Marketplace. No one's buying them, but because I think they're pretty common. But one of the coolest plants I have, because it's just easy to grow, and as you can see, it's now starting on its second moss pole segment. Right, so I'll show you a picture of this Thai constellation. I purchased this at the time when it started to get really cheap. So I remember seeing this as like $200 for a small plant, and I saw it for like $30 in Carnivoro. Jumped on it immediately, then found out in Walmart it's like a bigger plant for $25. But no issues here, no problem. It's a good growing plant. I think maybe I could say good genetics, because I've heard about some of not some aroids, their variegation, they revert to their normal leaf color. So not complaining about this. This one didn't do really good for me at first, and then I decided to put it in a more chunkier mix, and then in my grow tent, and then fertilized. I use Osmocote. It's just way easier. And then every 3 months, from March to September, I just give Osmocote, and then December I stop. And then yeah, it's in a moss pole. My goal here is to just grow it on a moss pole, so it won't be too unruly. And so far it has stuck on the moss pole, and hopefully I can train it to grow upwards. So we'll see how it does. Next would be this pothos, all the way up here. This is my all-time favorite plant because I was able to use it in my fish tanks, low light. This one my dad purchased as a small plant in a pot about 5 years ago. I don't know which one is the mother plant at this point, but it's grown this way, and now I'm letting it climb here, so there's a vine right on the floor. Very easy. One of the first plants that I've grown in a moss pole, and I'm pulling out my yeah, just to measure this. easily, this is easily 12-13 inches. So nothing more to say, I believe. We're in a northeast facing window, gets about 5 to 6 hours of direct morning light, so it's not as harsh compared to afternoon light. But yeah, you can see it's doing really well. I just add more water in the cup to drip into the moss or to the substrate, because it's a taller plant and it's thirstier, but really never gave me any issues. So move on to the next one. Is my philodendron pink princess, which I believe has reverted into the burgundy, or its original form. But it's easy to grow. I took a cutting about a few months ago that grew underneath. I don't know if you call it a basil, but it has more variegation. It's in my grow tent, so that's my next project. If it does better, then I might just sell this one. I like the dark reddish leaves. The pink color, not that much. Doesn't show much, but I wish the next leaves will. But this is the newest leaf. Yeah, but I like the deep maroon color. But again, it's easy to grow, and the color is nice. You know, the contrast between all these plants and this one. Again, nothing much to say. Very common plant, but in my case, I just like something. I'm not after the most expensive, rarest plant. If it grows really well, it's got something unique that I can add to my collection, then I go for it. And yeah, this one is doing really well. One more moss pole segment, and I think I'm done. Same with the bottles. So off to the next one. Is the Florida Ghost. Purchased this last year, July. Purchased a very small plant from Gabriella Plants, but never had any issues with Gabriella Plants. Even this Belitier was from there. It's now starting to grow bigger and faster. I'm not sure why the leaves are having this brownish color. What's the issue is, but I like the shape, like a beautiful shape. I forgot her name. She in YouTube, and she grew it I think on top of a cabinet, not getting too much light, but it has spread out to her home, and she just put hooks so it can just like grow near the ceiling. And one of the things she said is it's easy to grow, resistant to pests, and so those are my the main things I'm looking for. And sure enough, it is. As a small plant, I already planted in this. I won't. Yeah, they consider it as self-watering pot, but for me, it's more of like a good drainage. And I'll talk more about these pots after I talk about all my plants. But there's something unique I like about this and where I purchased them. But yeah, easy to grow, no issues at all. Can't wait for it to grow taller into the moss. Right. Next would be the Philodendron Belitier. This was also from Gabriella Plants, and I'm pulling out the measuring tape. It's around 16 inches, 16 to 17 inches at this point. Purchase it. It's a small plant, but pretty good size to what I expect when I purchase it. Really like the I think it's the petioles, really orange petioles, then dark leaves. Got lots of nectaries, produces nectars. I don't know, they say they produce nectar to attract predators because there's pests, but this one has been pest free so far. As I've mentioned, I had problems with scale. One thing I noticed with my collection, they attack one plant at a time. I'm able to catch up, treat it, and then they're good. So I've been lucky so far. I don't want to jinx myself, but I guess if the plant is healthy, they have also a natural resistance to pests and other issues. So far so good. But yeah, never had any issues. What's really cool is very vigorous grower. As you can see, the roots from below climb all the way up here. And same with the philodendron pink princess, or reverted pink princess. Before I added the additional multiple segment, the roots have come out, so they like it. They like the reused substrate, the recycled long fiber sphagnum moss, some cocoa chunks, some orchid bark, some lava rock, perlite. So yeah, they like it. I had this one has I've been having issues, the verrucosum. So CD plant guy said there's a specific pest that attack it in his collection. I don't know what it is in my end. I don't see anything. It's happening only on this plant. The leaves would grow mottled, so I really don't know. I don't want to sell it because I don't want to, like, if something's really wrong with it, I don't want to get it to spread to other collections. So I'm growing it. I removed the leaves. It's still growing. I have one in my grow tent that's like an insurance. If something bad happens, at least I still have one. I think they like more humidity, higher humidity, but they get big, so I can't keep them in my grow tent because my grow tent is getting crowded. So yeah, that's it. I try to make my videos really short. A lot of the stuff have been talked about by a lot of YouTubers, so I just want to let you guys see my collection, but I don't do anything different. I guess the moss pole is the only thing I do different, but the rest, it's pretty basic. So that's it, guys. Thank you. Please hit like and subscribe, and have a good one.